All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to iLeague China. We've got eHome versus Invictus Gaming tonight. Should be a good one. These two teams have squared off a bit recently. The 2-0 of eHome, fresh in our minds, though we did see IG beat eHome in a 1-0 just the other day.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, boy.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay. So let's get right into it. I am Zyori. I'm solo
Reserve
casting
time.
tonight. A little bit of an impromptu setup here. I haven't cast in like 2 weeks, man. It's been forever. Been working on nothing but Summit 3 action, making computers and booking hotels and doing all sorts of fun logistics on that end. And, you know, I woke up and said, Parker, I want to cast tonight. I want to cast me some iLeague. We've got Starladder right around the corner, and, well, hopefully we'll be seeing some of these teams there. So eHome versus IG tonight. Everything is best of 2. So we have that to look forward to. None of this best of 3 shenanigans, no betting on game 3. There was a schedule change, though. Our second best of 3 tonight is not what was initially posted. It is instead going to be HGT versus Newbie Y, if I'm not mistaken. That's the most recent update I've gotten, and that's what we're going to go with. So we're just going to keep that on the back burner. Keep it in mind there was a little bit of a change-a-reno there. I think it was supposed to be Vici versus HGT on the original schedule, but apparently that has been rescheduled for May 4th. Let's take a look at these picks and bans here and get things started. Lion and Bat Rider, the first two bans coming out of eHome. Invictus Gaming, they take out the Troll as well as the Sniper. Opens up for our first pick, Shadow Fiend. Alongside that, Earthshaker, a dubious duo we have seen a lot of. Worth noting, perhaps, that eHome do have a stand-in. I believe that is DDC who they are missing. Obviously, can't read who their stand-in is, lacking on the Chinese skills. And I think Dark Green is Yang. At least that's what I saw some folks saying in the lobby. So I think that's the case there. Of course, IG, they've got their whole lineup. Everyone that you would expect. Storm Spirit and Ancient Apparition going to be their opener here. A lack of crowd controls to get things started, but Old Frosty, one of those supports you see coming to the mix every so often. IG, one of those teams that likes to grab him early. See how this ends up working out. A lot of ways they can take this draft on both sides of the coin. Troll, Sniper, smart choices. IG banning out a lot of strong cores here. I'm curious who they'll grab for burning this go-around. Jug has been one of his go-to heroes that if it's left in the pool, they'll pick it up. And instead, they opted to grab one of their supports earlier on here. They ban out Rubik, as well as Broodmother, the fourth ban here from eHome. Not a moment's hesitation as Invictus Gaming pick up the Rattletrap Clockwork, third pick. That'll be your Luo hero headed to the off lane. I'm sure Ferrari will be taking helm on that Storm Spirit. And probably your Faith hero there for the Ancient Apparition. Chuan tends to play something a little more aggressive. He loves to play that Lion. Not surprised to see eHome take that out. That's the Chuan classic right now.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
What do eHome want here? A lot of different ways they can take this draft. This is a very solid opener that we've seen a lot of teams go for. Just the nature of the Earthshaker lingering nearby keeps the Shadow Fiend so much more safe. Lets him go for kind of whatever build he wants, whether it's mech, Yules, or something a little bit different than that. Just having the Earthshaker nearby, you've got somebody who can disengage, break up that fight, and if the other team isn't careful, you don't really want to dive under the tower when there's a fissure that could be flying out that could potentially block you in. eHome, though, chewing through that reserve time like it ain't no thing. Only 10 seconds left, so we'll see where they want to go momentarily here.
5 seconds
It's the Witch Doctor. Okay, another hero that IG like to play quite a bit. Pairs pretty well with the Ancient Apparition. Two good supports on the side of eHome. Nothing to complain about so far. It's IG that have the slightly different lineup. You've got 3 individually strong heroes. Not a lot of team fight cohesion, though. You've got initiation from the Clockwork, great initiation from the Storm, but who's your big damage dealer? Who is your burning hero here? And there's still quite a few of them in the pool. You could look at something like your classic anti-mage for your safe lane farming.
10 seconds remaining.
What else has burning been playing a fair bit of recently? Let's go ahead and take a look at recent match history. Jug Lion, most played on this patch by IG. No surprise to see that one. Oh boy, they've played some Drow Ranger. Their Morphling's been banned out. They've already banned out the Troll. Queen of Pain, not one that Burning has played all too much. Let's take a look at some of their more recent matches. Medusa is always an option, not one that they turn to too often. Also, the Phantom Lancer. He's still sitting in the pool, something that IG have been playing a little bit here and there. We've seen Luna mixed in. Looks like this could be a very possible Luna game. Looking at one of the more recent matches that IG played, they did a draft very similar to this, so they did pick up the Rubik as their second support, but they had this same opener, Storm, Ancient Apparition, Clockwork. They ended up grabbing a Luna for burning here. Plenty of bonus time, though. They can think about it. They may not even need to pick up their burning hero with this grab. They could just secure Chuan's hero, and it looks like they will. That'll be your Sand King second support.
Pick.
Great support duo here in your Ancient Apparition and Sand King. Some natural synergy. Lower their magic armor. Hit them with some magic damage. Oh, it's getting crazy. But you can set up some cold feet stuns if that's the route they want to go. Very greedy supports as well. Ancient Apparition could look for that Midas Rush, maybe move into a fast Ag. Sand King, he can work that jungle, try to rush that Blink Dagger. All that good stuff.
10 seconds remaining.
So starting to come together a little bit for IG, starting to see that team
5
fight
seconds
cohesion,
remaining.
2 supports with big team fight ultimates, and whoa, Daddy eHome with the interesting pickup
Invictus
here, the little
Gaming's
dog,
turn
the
to
Life
ban.
Stealer with their force. So that'll be their safe lane farmer. An interesting choice, though. We don't see Life Stealer all too often these days, and frankly on this patch, I feel like most of the games that I see the Life Stealer winning are games where I felt like
10
they probably would have
seconds
won
remaining.
anyway. They just get an early lead, and the Life Stealer balls out of control, but he is in kind of an awkward
5
place
seconds
right
remaining.
now. Very susceptible to being kited around, even with that that rage there.
Dire team
It does not
ban.
have the best uptime. Level 4, you've got 6 seconds out of a 19-second cooldown, and as soon as that baby's off, he's just going to be run around in circles. I guess all things considered, IG don't have the best kiting lineup. Not huge slows. Nobody like Viper or something like that.
10 seconds remaining.
Viper, not really your classic burning hero. So I guess eHome a little bit safe
5
in that regard.
seconds remaining.
I feel like the Life Stealer really needs a delivery vehicle, though. You could look towards that Earthshaker as a
Invictus
possibility. Once he
Gaming's
gets the
turn
Blink
to
Dagger,
pick.
you can hop in, hit him with an Echo, hit him with an Infest Bomb, but I feel like that comes online just a little bit too late. Axe from IG, a perfect ban here. He's that mobile initiator that can get a fast Blink
Dire
Dagger
team
and
pick.
really wreak havoc when in tandem with the Life Stealer. IG, though, they opt for something very elusive here. You don't see the Weaver come out onto the field too often, but I think a pretty good game for it. A general lack of lockdown here. You've got your Cask from the Witch Doctor, your stun from the Earthshaker, but other than that, Weaver should have a pretty good time. Obviously, no silences on eHome, at least not yet. We'll see what they want to do with their off-laner here. They could grab something like a Puck if they really
10
want a silence to try to
remaining.
deal with the Weaver and lock Burning down. But I like this. A fun game to
5
go with the
seconds
Scare.
remaining.
Should be pretty good stuff. eHome, they're lacking on reserve time. They'll have to make this decision
Reserve
pretty
time.
quick here. And darn tootin' they shall. It's Tidehunter, the Watermelon, the final pick here for eHome. Another interesting pickup. Tide, we've seen really fall off in popularity. He was the talk of talk of the town just but a few humble patches ago, and then, well, that Watermelon, he got a little moldy, got chopped up. You left him in the fridge a little too long, and the big problem with Tide is you've got to fight around that ultimate, and you really need every single Ravaged account. He's also an offlaner that doesn't have the best lane presence. Someone like Clockwork can pull the creep wave back, utilize those cogs, and at least find some experience. It's very rare to see a Clockwork completely zoned out of the off lane. Tidehunter, you can actually zone him out pretty effectively. Now, in this situation, you've got just an Ancient Apparition. Sand King, who will spend a lot of time in the jungle. No Skywrath Mage. Not that top-notch zoner that can completely block
10
out the Tide.
seconds
But
remaining.
even the Ancients, not your easy fallback, because you
5
need
seconds
level 5 to be
remaining.
able to clear out a set of Ancient stacks, a 3+ set of Ancients for a Tidehunter. So he can't even just look towards the Ancients and go, oh, sweet, level 2, level 3, I'm going to be able to recover. It's going to take him a little bit more than that. And if Tide does get zoned out,
Prepare
doesn't
for
find a
battle.
timely level 6, then that lack of Ravage can really hold back just your general team strategy. If you're picking a Tide, that means you win a team fight in the mid-game built around that Watermelon's ultimate. So, all right, let's do it. Let's get into this game here. This is but game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here. I am Zyori, solo casting for tonight. And this is our opening best of 2 for iLeague China. In the safe lane, looks like Chuang going to be here on the Sand King. Some initial wards coming down. They'll get a sentry in the tree line here to block out this camp. And they'll also put an observer on the magic bush. eHome limiting some pull options here. I'm going to go ahead and turn up my in-game sounds. because I feel like they're a little bit quiet. And I like hearing some sounds when I'm slaying. There we go. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff here. So a lot of kill potential with this tri-lane here. Even though Chuan will spend a lot of time working the jungle, we've seen what Weaver can do when he's got an Ancient Apparition next to him. You've got Chilling Touch, which plays very nicely with that Geminate attack and give you a huge burst damage early on. Uh-oh, in flame, you can be in a little bit of trouble here. This is going to be an early first blood, it looks like, and it is. Chuan secures it. The Chilling Touch makes it an easy one, and there you go. They strike early, and boy, do they strike fierce. Sand King, probably one of the scarier heroes to give the first blood to in this kind of a scenario. He goes boots first. They've already paid some dividends. Now he'll have the freedom to stack up this hard camp here. It's not blocked out. There's really no one else that'll go for it. I guess you could stack it up for Ferrari to get his snowball going. He can utilize this camp here. Brilliant start for Invictus Gaming. So we've seen Burning on the Weaver. He'll be in the safe lane. Faith, he'll be there on the Ancient Apparition joining him. We've talked about Chuan Sand King. That leaves us with Ferrari here in the mid lane on the Storm Spirit, and it will be Luo here in the off lane Clockwork. Now on the Dire side, we've got Team eHome. ROTK, he'll take the Tide Hunter to the off lane mid. That puts Inflame, the victim of the first blood, on the Shadow Fiend. Safe lane Farmer will be the Lifestealer. I believe this is Yang. We've got our stand-in here, Mr. No Name. That's going to be the Witch Doctor, and then Low Daddy. It's Lamb. Lottom, Lamb, whatever you want to call him. He's the Earthshaker here, the big cow. He's going to get his Sentry Ward down. He'll find a little bit of counter ward and victory here. This will make the Clockwork's life just a little bit more difficult. Luo already leeching to level 2. Only so much the Witch Doctor can do to try and zone him out. Looks like Ferrari having a pretty good time in the mid lane here. In Flame, not getting the start he was looking for. He went for this early Wraithband double GG branch build. So he's looking for the quest to the bottle. And this is a tricky quest to find here. He's already going to have to ferry out another set of tangos. I think there's very little to be surprised about that with 2 pooled tangos. Only so much that you can do in the way of regen. And getting boxed out pretty hard here. Ferrari keeping his denies on point. Down bottom, ROTK, he's venturing out of the lane, and you might want to be careful here, Mr. Watermelon Man. He'll throw out an Anchor Smash, but there you go. They've got a Burrow Strike, and they've got some Chilling Touch. 2 more charges on Chuan. They could possibly bring him down here. 1 point in Kraken Shell. Looks like it'll be just enough. Burning, he's actually joined the party. Shikuchi forward. Geminate attack is there. It's another kill for the Radiant, and it's Burning that'll get credit for this one. They chase him down. They dice him. They slice him, and ROTK heads down to the grave. All right, 2-0 in the first 2 minutes of gameplay. It looks like IG hungry to continue finding vengeance here against eHome. That 2-0 in the Summit qualifier is pretty surprising, I think, just in general, how easily eHome took out this team. And that best of one we saw the other day, I already mentioned IG, they won, but a best of one, very unpredictable. Maybe not the best metric of success. One saving grace for eHome, though, is this Lifestealer. The little dog is farming quite nicely here in the safe lane. He will be the last hit leader for now by a good bit over Burning, though. That's not for lack of trying. Burning has spent a fair bit of time chasing down heroes, 1-0-1, so I think he's made up for this this last hit disparity, at least for now. Looks like the Lifestealer won't be rushing a Midas, instead going for the Phase Boots first item. First set of Blades of Attack already up. I am kind of curious to see what Yang does in terms of item build on the Lifestealer. We see this hero so seldom. A lot of different options you can take. Armlet's still popular. Going for like a Phase Boot drum build if you want to get involved early on. Certainly an option. They do really need to secure some farm for ROTK, though. With that first spill, he's not really farming a hell of a lot. He's 4-1 in terms of CS, boots first, and no ancient stacks for recovery, but they need a way for this Lifestealer to get up into the fight. We talked about it in the draft. You need that delivery vehicle, and right now, they don't have it. Well, I guess Tide is kind of that, but he's like a Jeep with a flat tire. He can get you around the block, but he's not getting you to where you need to be. Oh, he's going to try to pull through here. ROTK, this backfired last time, buddy. Not really sure what he's up to here. Might be able to secure a 4-minute rune for himself. Looks like a big meaty stack here. Faith will stack it up a 3rd time. So already some farm for either the Sand King or Mr. Ferrari here to hop to. Looks like Lamb will try to box him out for the rune, but Luo's already there waiting for it, and he'll just keep that bounty safe so Ferrari can bottle it up. Nicely done here in the mid lane. The bottom rune was a double damage, and it was secured by the Sand King, it looks like. Oh, no, it was a haste by the Shadow Fiend, rather. Sorry, that was the last rune. So he'll get something. That'll keep Inflame safe, at least for now. He's found some recovery farm, 19-9 compared to the 15-3 Storm Spirit. And it looks like they may be doing a rotation here. The ganking Tidehunter, classic. Courier flying into the mix. Ferrari will get his boots. Looks like the Courier will live. Ferrari not going to be so lucky, though. And the Storm Spirit will get brought down. Hey, the roaming Tidehunter, at the very least, it'll catch him by surprise. You don't expect a gush at level 3, let alone a Tide moving from bottom to mid. But hey, this time it pays some dividends. It is Inflame that gets credit for the kill. And a sign of life for eHome as they get their first kill of the game up on the scoreboard. And they get a little more momentum for their mid. Always good to shut down Ferrari as best you can early on, especially before Storm hits level 6. Currently sitting level 5. That's your ideal time to set up a gank. And oh, Ferrari comes back to the lane, instantly chunked down to half health, and not really, and then some. Nice set of Shadow Raises. We'll be able to sip up that bottle, but now you can just see how much Inflame is dominating in this lane presence. The Earthshaker will just linger nearby. Lamb actually smoked up. Level 2. Fissure ready and waiting. Faith will linger nearby also. Oh, are they going to have a go at Faith? Fissure sets it up. A couple of raises will find a kill here. He gets it. Luo has a set of powered cogs. They won't be enough to keep the Ancient Apparition alive. That'll make it 2-2. Inflame picking up both kills for the Dire side. Meanwhile, in the Radiant jungle, Chuan and ROTK having a little picnic here. Okay, just eyeing each other down. They will part ways. Inflame, whoa, a little hyper-aggressive there, buddy. Walks up to the enemy high ground. Chuan looking for a burrow strike, but can't get it. Swagger Fiend swags his way into the top rune, and Lamb will grab the invisibility down bottom. A very scary rune in the hands of the Earthshaker. See if he can find any kind of aggression with this. I can't believe Inflame wasn't punished for that position. He just walks up to the enemy high ground. Hey, guys, what's going on? Okay, I don't want to be here. That is about as close as it gets. Now, Chuan, how's the quest for the Blink Dagger going? Looks like pretty solid. He's got a big, beefy 3-stack here. 1,500 gold. This will get him pretty close to Blink territory, at least a couple hundred off. Ancient Apparition will leech, only level 2. Faith is pretty starved right now. Burning, just having some solo farming time in the bottom lane. That's gotten him to level 6, but it has given ROTK a little bit of space to leech XP. Just now done level 4. Burning, not going for a hyper farming build either, at least not quite yet. Going for fast power treads, Ring of Aquila. Just getting his base kit. He's ready to skirmish if need be. We'll see if he goes into a Lincoln's. Uh-oh, Courier. Not going to be sniped here. Flies overhead of the Clockwork, scouts him out, and Inflame will get a belt of strength delivered here. Clockwork is only level 5 right now, so Luo trying to rotate in onto this mid lane, but not really much he can do to find a kill. If he has a hook shot here, completely different story. A 2-1-2 build. 2 points in the Rocket Flare, 2 in the Battery Assault. Uh-oh, they may go for the Clockwork here. Ward gets countered. And, okay. There you go. Good use of the vision.
Thanks you.
Get a little vision control here in the mid lane. Doing everything they can to make sure this Shadow Fiend has all the tools he needs to continue dominating on Ferrari, though. This is turning into a pretty even farm fest here in the mid. Both Inflame and Ferrari at about 34 last hits apiece. Still the Lifestealer farming away in the top lane. Looks like just Phase Drums will be the name of the game for him. Maybe Phase Drum Basher. He's got himself a belt of strength, just kind of chilling. Could go for the fast S and Y also. Really are a lot of options for the Lifestealer depending on when eHome want to fight this game. They want to settle in towards the late game, take a very aggressive mid game. Looks like this Lifestealer will want to fight sooner rather than later, though, with this kind of an item build. Chuan, he's got that Blink Dagger now. 8-minute blink on Brown Boots, not too shabby. He's level 5, just about to find 6 once he takes out this double-stacked camp here. So things coming together for IG. You take a look at the golden experience chart, and they are holding on to a minor lead in the 3 figures, so nothing too crazy, but they are getting slightly more efficient farm out of this laning stage. ROTK in this cute little nook in the trees here, just leeching all the XP he can. He's soon to be level 6, so things are turning around for the Tidehunter. Still not going to have a blink anytime soon, but hey, things could be a hell of a lot worse. Lamb going to take over the mid lane now as he leeches some XP. Witch Doctor will stack the Ancients, and they're actually going to pull a rotation to send the Shadow Fiend to the top lane here. Haste Rune in the bottle of 1 Inflame. It looks like they do want to gank the Clockwork with it. Not the easiest gank to come by. Luo also very close to level 6. If he does find it, could potentially look for a defensive hook shot onto a allied creep to get away. And there it is. That's his level 6.
Flares here.
Just the nature of power cogs make him a tricky hero to gank at this stage. Inflame will just clear out some neutrals here, at least making some use of his time. One of the nice things about the Shadow Fiend, depending on what build he goes for, it looks like it will be the Yules. Gives him all the mana regen he needs to spam down stacks and waves in the jungle, so that opens up for the mid to be taken over by a support, someone like the Shaker, like the Witch Doctor to leech some XP, get closer to level 6, and open up some more efficiency for the Dire side as well. ROTK does have a double stack to work with here. Only 1 point in Kraken's Shell. That early point in Gush, although it did secure some kills early on, or I guess just 1 kill for that Shadow Fiend, will make his ancient life a little more difficult. So that build coming full circle here. So now it's the Witch Doctor up top in Flame. He'll haste up. He heads towards mid. Ferrari zip-zapping around.
Regeneration.
Uphill miss. Raze will actually clip him. But it looks like this haste rune will not yield the kind of aggression that Inflame was looking for. Hoping for a kill somewhere, not going to get it. Soul Ring now completed on Ferrari. What a quiet early game. It erupted with some mighty ferocity early on with those early kills, but now both sides happy to sit back and just keep farming away. Burning, he will go probably for something more aggressive here. I guess this could just be a first item BKB. I want to say a rarity that you'll be rushing a Desolator. If you get it out fast enough, it can be a very potent item. Like a 15-minute Desolator, the minus armor is actually ridiculous. Tied with 4, 7 on Shaker. Would make this Dire's team very susceptible and possibly let IG snowball off of just a singleton item pickup, but very risky and makes this Weaver kind of like tissue paper. Very glass cannon build. BKB definitely the safe choice for Burning, but time will tell. Now we'll see IG burn a smoke. Level 6 Clockwork mixed with the level 7 Sand King. There is an Epicenter, maxed out Burrow Strike, and Blink Dagger ready to rock and roll. This is a great time to try and smoke and find a pickoff. They will find a Courier here. Do they feel the smoke is worth a Courier? They do not. Okay, looks like Sanj is coming out for the Life Stealer here. Ooh, smoke will expire. Courier will not scout it out. IG still deep in enemy territory. Inflame getting closer to that Yule Scepter
Radiant's
pickup.
top tower is under attack.
Yep, that will be the Sanj coming out
Radiant
on
structures
Lake
are
Courier.
fortified.
Push from eHome into the tier 1 in the top lane. There will be a rotation from IG. This could be a great opening for Chuan here. A lot of room in the tree line to work with. The glyph's already been burned. Here we go. Burrow Strike in. Epicenter flying through on 2. Inflame in a lot of trouble. They will lose Luo. Death Ward doing some damage, but now Ferrari comes in. Infest will keep Yang alive a little bit longer. He goes down. They get the deny on the tower. It's a 1 for 2, maybe a 1 for 3. Witch Doctor on the run as we cast through the lag. Oh, Ferrari there for the cleanup. 1 kill apiece for the Sand King, Weaver, and Storm Spirit. They deny the tower and trade 1 for 3. Just about your ideal fight for Invictus Gaming. Could have had a clean 3 for 0, but great initiation from Chuan. Channels the ulti, gets a stun on 2. And they don't even get the tower kill. The icing on the cake is Ferrari clowns all over the Dire side and gets 1 step closer to that Bloodstone. Nicely done by IG, and that should jump them into the lead by a fair bit. Yep, just about 4K net worth, and now somewhere about 3K XP will be the lead they find for themselves here in game number 1 of this best of 2 series. Clockwork going more of a utilitarian build here. Arcane Boots first item. Headdress now, maybe thinking about the Mechanism first item. Let him get a little more combative here. Burning, what are you working on, big boy? Is it a Deso? It is. Okay, I like this. IG trying to end this one sooner rather than later. Now, we already talked about a lot of the positives here, but again, let's just run through the armor on this Dire side. You got 4 on the Tide Hunter, 7 on the Shadow Fiend. If he was going for the mech, that would help make up for it, but he is going the Yule's build, and that is not one that gives you any kind of armor. Witch Doctor at 2+4. Looks like he's got his Tranquil Boots. That's helped a little bit. Maybe we'll hold this thought here as Inflame could be under assault. Rotation from IG on the way. No hook shot available. Looks like he's just recently used it here, but still, if Inflame presses forward, they will try and jump on him. There we go. Ice Blast comes in. It will connect as Ferrari hops forward. Zip zap. Will sidestep a couple of those Shadow Razes. They do get the kill on the tower. Burning finds the last hit as the Weaver. And IG happy to trade 0 for 0 if it means they can secure the kill on the tower. Little Dog, he went Sanj first item. He's got 4 armor himself. And Earthshaker, he's only got 3. So this Desolator will do a lot of work. Burning needs to be careful for his positioning. He'll have to stay in the back a little bit. If he gets caught by a series of stuns, of course, it could be the end of him. But a very, very potent item. ROTK, how's the quest for the Blink? Looks like it's not going so well. Arcade Boot, 700 gold. Here at the 15-minute mark, he's been relegated to the jungle. They've still got a double stack of Ancients. This is that initial stack of Ancients. I don't think it's been cleared out a single time yet. And probably the tie that'll want to clear it out. Now level 7, 2 points in the Kraken, 3 in the Anchor Smash. I think ROTK can do it. Maybe with the help of one of his friends, certainly an achievable feat. Only a double stack, shouldn't be too hard for him here. Looks like he'll try to stack it thrice, but not happening. Yep, gets there just a little bit too late. How unfortunate for Team eHome. IG, they've got the Gozu ward down on the high ground. Looks like they're going to ping it out. Just as I cycle it here. Oh, here we go. Kill attempt onto ROTK, and boy, will that be an easy one. Chuan sets up with the epicenter, and it will be Faith that gets credit for the kill. Ice Blast will connect, and even Cold Feet being utilized there. Nicely done. Makes it 6-3 as, once again, ROTK sent to the grave. A watery grave at that, and steps backwards from that blink. Burning, he'll move into the Dire Ancient, says, hey, thanks for the stack, boys, and this should be pretty easy for him here. He'll start to clear out the easy ones. We'll probably leave a couple creeps lingering here just to block the spawn. But we'll take out the big ones. This is just free money here for Burning. Still maintaining about a 1K net worth lead over the leading farmer of eHome, which of course is the Lifestealer. Going for fairly comparable builds here in terms of both looking to be combative instead of going for those farming tools. No Midas, no safety Lincolns first for Burning. He's not about that life. He wants to do damage. He wants the big numbers. Yule's up on the Shadow Fiend. Smoke rotation on 3 from eHome. Not sure how well this one's going to work out, though. Luo and Ferrari rendezvousing with Burning down bottom room here. Haste Rune will get bottled up. Smoke gets broken as Burning. Shikuchi's nearby. Oh, the Weaver. Such a valuable tool against a team trying to do a smoke rotation like that. So easy for him just to poke a little bit far forward, try and reveal it, and then just back on out. Now, a Sentry Ward will come down for the high ground. IG are privy to it. They see the ward getting taken out, and they'll use this opportunity to smoke up. They know the tide is isolated. Hook shot will connect. Power cogs come through. ROTK, he's going to get sent to the watery grave once again. Looks like Ravage will come out, but it's defensive at best. Sets up for a coconut into Death Ward. Does a good bit of damage to Luo. May die to the Maledict. The rest of the team nearby. Looks like they will find Luo, but it could all be bait. It's a trap, says Admiral Akbar as Ferrari starts jumping around. He'll get put inside of the Yules. They hit him with a Spirit Bar, and Ferrari, he goes down. Clockwork ends up falling. They pick off the Witch Doctor. Burning lingering around. A 2 for 2 could have been a lot better for IG. Nice stun from Chuan. Finds the kill onto the Shadow Fiend, but it will cost Burning his life. It ends up being a 4 for 3. It's eHome that take the fight. And they should be pretty happy with that one. On the back foot, they'll find about a 2K net worth gain out of that one. Okay, looking a little bit better than initially thought. ROTK, unfortunately, had to use his Ravage early on, but wasn't as bad as it seemed at first glance. His team was able to get there and still take the fight. Unfortunate for Ferrari going in as deep as he did. Earthshaker, ooh, he's going to get sniped in the well. All right, there you go. That's a shatter. That helps tip the scales a little bit. Still a fight in favor of eHome, though, of course. Spirit Bomb, though, bringing down Ferrari. Perfectly timed by Inflame. Exactly the way you want to do it. And if the Storm Spirit lives there, it's a totally different fight. Ferrari can kind of play clean up, move around, but when you lock down that mobile Storm Spirit with that much burst damage, limits what he can do. Bloodstone on the way for Ferrari, but his timing getting a little bit harbored by these team fights. Off the backside of that failed smoke, IG will smoke up again, but this time it's for objectives. They go into Roshan, and this is one of the great things about the early Desolator. Opens up Roche possibilities. Now with this minus armor, they can bring him down nice and quick. Faith will come in with some chilling touch action to help out the team, and he's already picked up a hand of Midas. So even though IG maybe take a few steps back there, they're still holding on to a decent lead for themselves. Their supports securing themselves some momentum towards the late game, or at least Faith is.
Under attack.
Progression towards that Aghanim Scepter begins now.
Under attack.
Little Dog, he's taken over, well, not quite the leading farmer on net worth. I guess before Roche, he was tangoing at the top, but needless to say, he's got the Sanjin Yasha, 1,600 gold, still farming very nicely, so still could come online here. We'll see what he wants to grab next. Could look towards an armlet.
Radiant's middle tower is
up.
under attack.
They want a siege. Look for the assault cuirass. I think he does need to build into some armor just to deal with this Desolator a little bit more effectively. But Roshan falls to IG. It looks like Burning looking towards a BKB of his own. And, of course, it is Ferrari that grabs the Aegis of the Immortal on the Storm Spirit. No big surprise there. And following a successful kill onto the mighty Roshan, that will yield a Bloodstone delivery. 8 charges now up on Ferrari.
Under attack.
So both teams will just go back to farming. Now Blink Dagger comes out on the Tide. Better late than never. 20 minutes in. Now he's now got a delivery vehicle for the Lifestealer. And he's got some initiation power. Still reasonably low level, only 9, but does have Ravage off cooldown, and that means that eHome is ready to fight. And fight they shall. Ferrari not going to be that easy target. He'll head down bottom, and looks like he'll bottle up an invisibility rune this regen. Double runes for him. That's pretty nice. And Mech has also been picked up on the Clockwork. That is another disparity across these two teams. eHome, they're the ones that want to be the aggressors here, but at the Mech disadvantage. Does make things a little more difficult. Rocket Flare, flying overhead. It does get pinged out. Looks like it did reveal just for a moment there. Their smoke broke just as the rocket flew over. So eHome not going to find a successful jump with that smoke. Instead, they'll just move for some objective gaming of their own. Tier 1 tower mid, ripe for the claiming. Glyph will come out straight away. Rocket Flare. Luo looking for a hook shot. And just the threat of a hook shot coming in will push eHome back. So moving into the mid-game here, it has turned into a bit of a stalemate. We've seen a lot of farming this game, 17 kills in 21 minutes, been rather passive. It does feel like IG are a little more suited towards this late game. You've got a Weaver and Storm, both of which thrive in games that don't have a lot of lockdown, and that eHome are lacking here. We'll hold that thought as RGK does get jumped on, but a Death Ward from the high ground will get interrupted by Ferrari. There's your Ravage. Connects on most of IG. Ferrari still alive, though, and it's eHome falling like flies. Echo Slam comes out, but it won't connect onto Ferrari. He's put inside of the Yules. He will be able to scoot away. The Spirit Bomb's not enough damage this time. He will end up falling, has the Aegis of the Immortal, but Burning, he's still up. He'll bring down the Shadow Fiend, and now it's just the little dog that's left alive. Ferrari, he's respawned from his nap. Electric Vortex is there. A buyback from the Witch Doctor. Will it actually be enough to repel IG? The Coconut bouncing about. Burning could fall to the Maledicted. He will. The buyback proves worth it. And eHome, again, take a scrappy fight. Hard pressed to say they really won that with a buyback. It's IG that take the goal advantage. Up top, ooh, is that going to be a shatter on the Lifestealer? It's going to be close. But no cigar.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, an awkward exchange. I guess the buyback kind of tipping things a little bit. Ooh, can Chuan find a kill here in the top lane? He wants it. Looks like Basher is the next item here for the Lifestealer. Alright, Chuan not going to go for it here. Rather ambitious to try and find a solo kill on a Lifestealer with a Rage. But okay, 14-10. It's still IG that are getting the better of the farm, though. I think they've got the better late game, the point I was making before that fight, where you've got two heroes that kind of shine against these kind of lineups, and especially once the BKBs come out. That's your counter to your Ravage, Fissure, Coconut. That's it. That's your trump card. And Burning, he's very close. His BKB's right around the corner. Ferrari is coming up before too long, just about a recipe away. And Clockwork will get one eventually, though still very far off. That's the big item that's going to start tipping the scales in favor of IG. And even though eHome are taking decent scrappy fights for now, still IG that are farming better, and in all this downtime, they're just working the map a lot more efficiently. They'll be able to stay rather defensive until the next Roshan. I think they can just sit back, defend their towers, wait for their BKBs, and then take fights on their own terms. eHome will finally move into the Ancients. ROTK getting the bulk of the farm as the support to leech a little bit of XP. That puts ROTK at about 1,400 gold. He does ding level 11 with his Blink Dagger in tow. Still, it just feels like this Tide is not really controlling the game. You look at his net worth, and it's below that of the Ancient Apparition. That's your big disparity. Down bottom, Spirit Bomb set up. Hook shot in, though. Burning still takes the bulk of the damage. Power Cogs trap Burning inside. It could be the end of him. The Death Requiem, not quite enough. Fissure is there, but Burning trying to make it away. Not going to be able to do it. Huge ulti from Chuan, but bigger ultis from eHome. There you go. The 3 for 4. It's Burning that cleans it up. A 4 for 4 in the end. What a chaotic fight in the bottom lane. Lifestealer and Storm, the only two left alive. It will be the Lifestealer that claims the Tier 1 tower after the fight ends. eHome, because they're the team behind, they get the net worth gain out of it. About 1,500, 1,600, not too shabby. 4 for 4. Another one of these really awkward fights. The power cogs there from Luo proving to be a big double-edged sword for burning. He made it away and then got pulled right back into the Kongs. They put down a sentry ward, 2 sentries actually, to make sure that they had all the vision they needed. Poor burning. All right. Still, it feels like eHome are hanging in there. They're putting up a good fight, but they don't really get anything after the victories here. Yeah, they get a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. That's cute. But I still feel like the BKBs are the big problem. We haven't seen a fight yet with a BKB. Now Burning has his. And that whole time Ferrari was just farming. That'll put him about 150 gold away. Force Staff now up on ROTK, so he will get a little more mobility. That is good news there. Blink Dagger on the Shadow Fiend. Looks like he wants a BKB coming up next. I think for IG, after the BKBs come out, they can look to fight. Certainly want to secure the next Roche, and for that it's just a matter of finding the right kind of initiation. Is there a gem on the Dire side? There is not. They are light on detection, relying mostly on sentries right now. They'll have one down kind of preemptively here. Radiant coming equipped with sentries of their own. Faith closing in on that Aghanims, 2 pieces away. This Midas really starting to pay some dividends here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
IG starting to group up about the mid lane. Ferrari's BKB is coming out via the courier. This ward giving Luo all the vision he needs. Nice initiation on 2. They bring down the Witch Doctor in a matter of seconds. Luo may get left behind. He has to mech himself, caught by the Maledict. He'll probably die to the curse, if not something else, and it will be the Witch Doctor that's credited for the kill. They put a sentry ward down. They know there's got to be some kind of vision behind the tree lines. Nice heads-up play from eHome. Chuang comes in, channels the ulti a little bit late on the blink in. ROTK has a Ravage, and Ferrari and Chuang gets slammed, dunked, brought down straight away. Now Spirit Bomb set up onto Faith. He'll go down, and Burning showing off that BKB, forced the Shikuchi away. All of a sudden, a 1 for 4 fight, a bloody disaster for IG. What are they doing? Oh man, IG acted like they're playing from ahead, and they are kinda, but some serious conky plays. That was nice initiation behind the tree line to bring down the Witch Doctor like that, but very sloppy outside of that. You see Chuang coming in with his ulti channeled, only got about half damage and still only caught 1 with it for the most part. ROTK right there with the counter Ravage. Ferrari going in way too deep, and then that Shaker just catching them completely off guard. Not even a Blink Dagger on the Earth Shaker. Lamb just in the right place at the right time, wonking his cow face in there and getting a huge echo. That just does too much damage. Ferrari has the BKB, but unable to use it in that fight before going down, and that'll take him back down to 8 Bloodstone charges. My, oh my. Busting this game wide open, and eHome making it seem like that, hey, this could be a little more even after all. You know, you look at the Dota 2 lounge bets here. I looked at them earlier. I want to pull it up. 74% for IG. eHome making those numbers feel like they may be just a little teeny-weeny bit lopsided. Quick pause coming out. Looks like Ferrari will be able to reconnect. G's are called, and eHome will pressure this tower. We are definitely feeling the lag here. You can see in these team fights there's just that general delay. I think that's mostly on our end, connecting from the Pacific Coast over to Perfect World. Seems like the players are having a much more lag-free type environment.
Dire's top tower is under
I do like this build from the Lifestealer. He went for the Abyssal Blade, kind of second item here. I hesitate to say that. Almost first item, as S&Y is so cheap. You don't see the Abyssal Blade come out this early, but I think given how important the BKBs are to IG, it's a very big tool.
I'm over here.
And now there's a BKB on the Shadow Fiend. Does give eHome that valuable lockdown they need against the Magic immunity, and they just don't have an answer for it outside of that. You've got the Death Ward that can do some damage, but lockdown is kind of the name of the game. So this does give them some options on that front here. Witch Doctor, yeah, no Aghanims this game. He is one broke doctor. He's got himself a casual ring of regen and now just says, fuck it, I need a Ghost Scepter. I just need to live. First Shaker closing in on the Blink Dagger. And Lamb, he's found some amazing echoes without that mobility tool. Once he gets a Blink, I actually fear for IG a little bit. This Shaker is really going to become a threat. The damage that he's put out has already been pretty massive, and it's just going to increase from here. Roche up in about a minute and a half. Will be, wow, max respawn timer here. That definitely favors eHome. IG, even though they're Radiant side here, they've got the minus armor with the Desolator. They've got the Storm Spirit, who is basically the Aegis carrier. Really uncontested on that front. They're the ones that want to control Roche, and they benefit a lot more from his demise. You see already Ferrari, he's got illusions. He is just camping that baby out. They want to hop into Roche the second it's up, throwing rocket flares across the map. Burning does have about 3k gold, though. Still farming very nicely. Not getting out-farmed by the Lifestealer despite these series of unfortunate fights. Luo, ooh, could be unfortunate positioning here. The Abyssal, not going to be used, and no bash comes out as he does TP home after bumping into the Lifestealer. Whew, a little close for comfort there. All right, so still a pretty passive game, all things considered. A very bursty game. These teams just sit back and farm for 5 to 10 minutes, have an explosive team fight where everybody gets killed, and then they just go back to farming for another 10 to 15 minutes and wait. No, the waiting game we shall. Now for Burning, how does he want to itemize here? I think just going for more damage is the way for it. Now that he has the BKB, no reason to go back for a Lincoln's or anything else like that. Looking towards item progression, he could just go for something like a Daedalus if he just wants raw damage. MKB, probably not going to be a super early necessity here. Butterfly could be an option for the Shadow Fiend if he wants to preemptively get ahead of it. But look at this eHome. Speaking of getting ahead of it, they want to do Roche. They're going to find Burning here. They'll burn a solo Ravage for the Weaver. Is it worth it? I dare say yes, as now eHome moving to the Roche pit. Burning does have a buyback here. Rocket Flare will come in to scout this out. This is Radiant Vision we're looking at here. IG are privy to this. Burning does not have enough for buyback. Actually, instead, he buys the Chrysalis. Ice Blast will connect on 4. Lamb, the only one not caught by it. Maybe IG can repel them without burning.
Middle tower is
wow,
under
they can. eHome put a lot of resources into killing that Weaver. And it could actually end up backfiring a little bit. Always good to find a pick on Burning. But now they don't have their team fight tools for the Roche pit. Luo goes in, hook shot onto the Witch Doctor, gets the kill there, but in flame, he'll BKB Requiem. Luo almost lives as he makes it back to the high ground. A 10-second BKB charge for a 1-for-1 trade. Not bad for IG. They just want to delay this Roshan. That's their only go here. Or really their only goal, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. Now in flame, he goes to the high ground. Remember, he doesn't have a BKB or Requiem. Chuan pops the ulti down to the low ground, finishes off the Tidehunter. Lamb with an Echo Slam, doesn't do a hell of a lot. It's Ferrari just clowning all over this eHome team. Burning, he's come back into the fray. Shadow Fiend, sure, he kills the Ancient Apparition, but I think IG happy to sacrifice Frost Fingers if it means they secure Roshan for their team. And they will. Aegis the Immortal goes away of Ferrari, who, by the way, had a double damage rune during that skirmish. Will be a 2 for 3 when it all settles down, it looks like. And IG finding a victory there. Yep, Shadow Fiend getting a little trigger happy. It seemed like Inflame was assuming IG would commit just a little bit more to that fight. Popped the BKB and the Requiem. Just not worth it for a solo Clockwork. And you see what happens when they don't have that Yule's disable with the big burst from the Requiem follow-up to lock down Ferrari. He just hops in and he takes out the trash. He just plays cleanup. Never too late for an Orchid. Well, that's not a true statement, but this game, Ferrari getting a later Orchid. He'll have Oblivion staff here, and 1900 gold will get him pretty close to a completed Orchid Malevolence. Burning will take heed to my advice, it looks like, and just go raw damage. Chrysalis into Daedalus. Gets that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, leaving just one outer tower remaining for eHome. It is the tier 2 in the top lane. Meanwhile, up top, Luo and Inflame duking it out, but hey, Chuan comes cruising in. Ice Blast as well, but BKB is there. Spirit Bomb onto Luo, he'll mech, but it's not enough. Now the BKB out, and Inflame will live. BKB TP, all he needs to make it home safe. So another BKB charge, that'll take him down to 8 seconds. Another Requiem used, again for just the solo Clockwork, and I think IG can be okay with that. Luo 0-7 and 13, man. Glad he's not in my fantasy draft. Woo! Burning is getting big, though. And this is part of the problem with the lifesteal. We see someone like Burning in these team fights just so much more mobile. As long as he's not locked down in that initial burst of the fight from either a Requiem, a Ravage, something like that, or even just a Coconut that catches him astray, he can just cruise around, pick off supports on the backside, and do huge damage. This Lifestealer, he's got to be right up in your face to do the big damage, and it's just so hard for him to lock down any of these targets outside of the Ravage. Storm is just jumping around the Clockwork. He's got a mech. He's got power cogs, and now he's got a Force Staff, so even harder to lock down. Now the Clockwork has the luxury of being able to hook shot in. He can put the dog in the cage and then just Force Staff himself out and just kind of wave from afar and be like, ha, how do you like your crate there, little man? Aww. Aghanim's out on the Ancient Apparition. So more item progression for IG, and there's your 35-minute Orchid, or 34-minute, I suppose, for Ferrari. So we'll smoke up here, looking for an item reveal that'll find some kills. All of the ultimates available, except for the Requiem on the Shadow Fiend. It will be coming up in just a matter of seconds. eHome, good sense here as they are just backed up in their base, feeling like there could be treachery afoot. Looks like this smoke will not yield any untimely deaths. At least not yet.
And it's off.
2 minutes left on the Aegis of the Immortal here. IG, well, they can afford a little bit of patience, but if they really want to make use of this Aegis, they will have to force the issue sooner rather than later. The Daedalus now up on Burning. The big damage is here. And still not a lot of armor on this Dire side. No Vlads. I guess the Lifestealer getting some armor of his own. He's got +10 from the Plate Mail. He's got himself the beginnings of an Assault Cuirass, so that'll help buff up the team a little bit. Still pretty far off, though. All right, another smoke from IG. Back-to-back smoke rotations. This one could be a little more successful, perhaps. Chuan not with him, just kind of baiting in the bottom lane. Faith leading the charge. Chuan. Oh, thought he was TPing out. Okay. Good ward deep in enemy territory, down on the plateau. And they'll find one. It's in flame. Hookshot will connect, and that's an easy shatter. Death Requiem just tickles IG, and that's the kill they were looking for. Unstoppable streak ended by Ferrari. And 2 smokes really to make that one happen, but still well worth it. There is a buyback for the Shadow Fiend. Probably not a GG push off that pickoff, but steps in the right direction.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now Burning just goes straight to the high ground. Forget about the tier 2 in the top lane. They'll just start chipping at this tier 3, and with that Deso, gets it down to about half health already.
Radiant's top tower
Very
is
difficult
under attack.
siege to glyph against. You only get
Dire's
1
middle
glyph here, and you don't
tower
really want to
is
use
under
it just against the Weaver,
Dire's
but
structures
still need to make
are
it happen.
fortified.
Whoa, ho, ho, Burning! Blown up by a setup from Lamb. ROTK to follow up. Will finish off the Aegis on Ferrari as well. Great setup from eHome. Ferrari will be able to zip out, but that's it. Those are their 2 big ultimates.
Radiant's
With
top
Burning
tower
dead,
is under
IG
attack.
may back out here, but they've still got an Epi. They've got a hook shot. They may try to reinitiate this. eHome showing us what their burst damage is all about, and even though Burning has a BKB, you just can't react to that. The trigger finger is just
Radiant's
a little
top
too
tower
fast
is
from
under
that,
attack.
that Earthshaker. Good use of the sentries here from eHome. We'll clear out some of that vision that is hiding in the base. And it looks like eHog will just back it on up. Well, all things considered, great defense from eHome. That's the way to do it. They get a kill on Burning, and they keep their tier 3 tower standing. Does cost them a glyph, however. They finish off the Aegis. It was just about to expire, so I think Ferrari will be okay with handing that one over. 2 minutes till we see what the next Roche timer looks like. Inflame did not have to buy back either, so he will hang on to that 3K gold that he's amounted for himself. Now a gem picked up by the Ancient Apparition, so Faith will get a little bit of map control going for his team. And there's your Assault Cuirass for the Lifestealer. So a big pickup to get some more armor for the team, and possibly an even bigger item pickup here for Inflame. He will complete a Butterfly. I didn't realize he had so many pieces sitting on the Courier. But there it is, huge item pickup for him because there is no way to really deal with that evasion. Big man damage mitigation against the Storm, who does have an invisibility rune on right now. Trying to hunt him down. Will have forward. Catches the Witch Doctor. Uses the BKB. Ghost Scepter's there. Ice Blast will fly through. Connects only on ROTK. Burning. Isolates in flame. BKB on. Witch Doctor and Luo duking it out. Luo will win. Off to the side. Burning. Almost hit by a Spirit Bomb, but will BKB. Goes down to the Lifestealer in the end. Clockwork also goes too deep into the base. It's Tron with an epicenter that just tickles at this point. Lifestealer, okay for now, but caught by an Orchid. He's locked down and brought down. It'll cost Faith his life. Maybe Ferrari as well. Nope, survives the duration of the stun. Zip back in flame, blinks forward. There's your burrow strike from Chuan. Making the space for Ferrari to get away, but it's a 2 for 3. Not the ideal fight for IG. And again, eHome showing that they can make a hold for the ages and maybe even take a big fight here. Chuan, he gets caught by the Yules, stunned by the fissure, and it's a 2 for 4. There's your gem. It's on the deck. And it will get handed over to the Earthshaker. Ambitious from IG, to say the least. And this one backfires just about completely. Ferrari, the only one that walks away with a gain to his name. He gets some Bloodstone charges, 2,000 net worth sitting in his inventory. Why did I say that way? Gold sitting in his bank, but man.
Looking for me?
IG just not respecting eHome. Really what it feels like here. I mean, Ferrari, he dove in deep here. He catches a Witch Doctor right here, uses his BKB super early. It seemed awesome for Burning to be duking it out with the Lifestealer, but the Lifestealer just straight up won the duel. He won the man fight on that bug. And then Luo, I got him, don't worry. I'm going to finish off your work, good buddy. He dives into the tier 3 tower, gets the kill on the Witch Doctor, but it's pretty comparable to the Shadow Fiend using his BKB Yule's Requiem on just the Clockwork. If Luo dives in that deep for just a Witch Doctor, it's not worth it. This Witch Doctor's got nothing. Maybe if he's got the Aghanims, he's channeling a big ult, it's making fuck all over your team. Sure, hook shot him, go in deep, dive the tier 3s, but when he's just standing there with his Ghost Scepter like, yeah, I'm just really making space for my carries to do the damage. That's when this Witch Doctor is walking into Value Town. Now, eHome, they're going to smoke up, and they're actually taking control of this game. They don't have the net worth lead yet, but they're holding on to that experience edge, and they are starting to take control. ROTK getting a little bit closer to that refresher. Just the Perseverance off, and now Lamb with a Blink Dagger. He can be the initiator or delivery vehicle for that Lifestealer to do the dirty. Very fast Roche respawn here. It's Roche 3, does get scouted out by IG. eHome, they haven't scouted it out yet, but this is their ideal time to take a fight because they can just grab Roshan off the backside of this. Their smoke will expire in range of the creep wave. Oh, looks like they were on the low ground.
Heads up.
But they will reveal it anyhow. As Witch Doctor walks by. All right, IG just backing out here. They've got the vision control. This is one nice thing for IG we haven't really talked about, but lots of global vision. You can chuck these snowballs all around. They're putting out rocket flares left and right. Pretty much constant eyes on what eHome are up to. But here we go. eHome moving into the jungle. Delivery vehicle gets interrupted. Uh-oh, Chuan gets blown up by the Abyssal straight away. Ferrari, he'll BKB, zip to the backside. Orchid out onto the Witch Doctor. They'll finish off the Earthshaker. He gets off a dunk before he dies. Minimal damage, but a 1-for-1. Hook shot in, right on the Inflame. They catch him inside of the cogs. He'll have to use the defensive Yules here. Coconut won't find any bounces. The IG on the high ground. They'll have to sacrifice their Clockwork. That's the only one on the low ground. Ferrari zip-zapping around, brings down the Witch Doctor. Now duking it out with ROTK. Anchor Smash doing some work, but now Burning joining the party. Crits down the Watermelon. Slice him and dice him as he gives him the slap chop. Now Ferrari with the Orchid out onto the Lifestealer. He will not win this fight. Burning just doing too much damage. One left alive for eHome, and he's not going to live. It's a 5-man wipe as IG finally take the fight they've been looking for. And what a time to do it with Roche 3 alive, ready for the claiming. They will get Aegis and Cheese. They may have done it a little bit of sloppy in the mid-game, but now they strike back when it matters. They get a huge net worth gain out of that 2-for-5 trade. And now Aegis on the Ferrari for the third time this match, and Burning, he'll pick up the cheese. Faith, he'll get a bottle. How nice. All right, now Shiva's guard up on Ferrari. Take a look at that graph, and just when IG starting to give away some of that momentum, they strike on back. And now they just go straight for the high ground. Now there is a glyph here.
Oh,
long range zip from Ferrari. Who's he jumping on? It's going to be Lamb. He does get orchided, but we'll have that go. Scepter to stay safe. Mid lane of Barracks probably going down here. Burning with that minus armor, cutting through him like butter to a warm knife. Chuan goes for a little split push up top. Nothing like that split push in Sand King. ROTK lacking on the Ravage, so on cooldown for another 30. Looks like eHome will not have to burn any buybacks here, but they will lose one lane of Barracks at the very least. Possibly even two. Looks like top tier 3 tower will go down. Hardy will finish it off as eHome getting in position to mount a defense. That'll be IG's cue to make their exodus and head back to friendly territory. So getting a lot off that big fight. Roshan, a mid lane of Barracks, a glyph, and another tier 3 on top of that. They still have Aegis and Cheese. Everything falling into place for IG here in game number 1 of this best of 2 series. And it looks like Bernie not going for an MKB instead. He'll just go for the butterfly. Looks like they're not too concerned about having some True Strike to try and cut through the Shadow Fiend. I guess they've been bringing it down pretty easily without it. So why fix what's not broken here? ROTK so deathly close to his refresher at this point, but feels like there's a chance that he might not be able to farm it this game. Ferrari, 3,500 gold. He is just getting massive at this point. There was a time when the Lifestealer was farming pretty nicely, but that time is over. And now IG have just completely taken control. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. Ferrari, is he going to get caught here? Gets a little bit of flying vision, gets stunned up. Ooh, they'll burn an Echo Slam for this. Okay, that's the end of the Aegis of the Immortal. Ice Blast will connect on to Inflame. He's going to try to time this properly, but he mistimes it, and Ferrari gets off his BKB. That's a wasted Requiem. Inflame will be on one side, Ferrari on the other. Chuan channels the ulti, brings down the Lifestealer. Now on the other side of the fight, Inflame. Caught by the Electric Vortex, and he'll fall. Fast 2-0. And another disastrous fight for this Dire side. There is a buyback available onto Inflame, but Yang not going to be so lucky. With 2 cores dead, this could be close to a GG push here. BKB still available on Burning, no glyph. That means the top lane of Barracks will fall. And I think they could just push for tier 4s here. There is a Ravage. That is one thing eHome could use here. They could buy back Ravage and maybe catch IG off guard. Yeah, maybe.
Do it with flair.
But they're going to play it safe. IG going for objectives. They want Barracks here. That'll force the buyback onto the Shadow Fiend, probably assuming that the Lifestealer doesn't have one at this point, or he would have burned it already. Last tier 3 tower goes down. Just one lane of Naked Racks left for eHome. It is a 5v4 on the field. They'll gush Chuan, but he 4 stabs away. The rest of IG about the low ground. Looking for an opening here. Happy just to slow siege on the Barracks. eHome, you've got to go sometime soon. There you go. Ravage connects on 3. But does it really matter? Everyone's still rather healthy. Luo with a good set of cogs to break up the fight. Inflame, the first one to go down. Witch Doctor Earthshaker just ripped apart. As GGs are called, it'll be Invictus Gaming that takes game 1 in this opening best of 2 of the evening against eHome. So it's just the best of 2 series here for the iLeague format. We'll have game 2 right around the corner. Thank you so much for joining us here, folks. 2 best of 2 series tonight. There was a schedule change, don't forget. No Vici Gaming. It will be Newbie Y versus HGT as our second series. That last-minute schedule change. A pretty bloody game 1, though. Both teams putting up a pretty good fight. IG maybe getting a little cocky there in the mid-game, giving eHome a little bit of room to breathe. Had a couple of really good defenses on the Dire side, but IG was there when it mattered. They took that huge fight around Roshan, and that seemed to be kind of the final nail in the coffin, the fight that really sealed the deal. And with that, IG were able to snowball out to victory. Great showing from Burning. So with that, folks, we'll take a break, and coming on back will be game 2 of IG versus eHome. I'm Zyori, solo casting for now. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. Stick around because more Dota 2 action coming your way here for iLeague.